Yeah, it's a little weird. That's fine.
Yo, what's the name of that extension to show the IP address at the bottom? Because Rabia told me
Is
I forgot to add it
okay. Let me tell you. Hold on.
before you start.
Yeah, I just need to see my extensions. I don't remember my extensions. Settings.
Wait a minute. I think you're live right now, so that means that you could be broadcasting.
Yes, we are live. It's
Oh
called
shit.
website IP.
Oh, outside of okay.
Website IP. Yeah. Yeah, we're live right now. I'm just gonna wait like a couple of minutes to see if someone else join. So
There you are. Yes.
it's pretty useful.
Hold on.
I mean, hold on, inviting Krista, Alex, Kashuk, Tony. No, Rabia. Damn, what these guys are. Okay. Alright. Oh, there you go. We got Alex.
Alex,
What's up?
what's popping, bro? Oh, you already got the haircut. Look at that guy.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Actually, get a haircut, man.
You got a half haircut.
Gee,
it's like no, go away.
No, no. Okay, so let's wait another 2 minutes and we're starting. We already have 3 viewers. Okay, Alex, that's weird. You're
What are you
fixing the
doing?
screen? He's fixing the screen. Alright.
I
Okay.
do two things at once.
Huh?
I do two things at once.
I see, I see. Alright. So, okay. I'm going to start. So, okay, before we start, I'm going to, let me just try to click here in the Q&A. Okay, so we have a Q&A section on the video. So please, any questions, just put it there. I'm going to try to answer as much questions as possible after where I finish. But if, I mean, you can interrupt me anytime and hold on, some feedback here. You can interrupt me anytime and I will try to answer questions. Alright, so let me just try mute. There we go. All right. So, okay, today I'm going to talk about HapiJS. So, I named it Learn to Be Happy because it really is. I know you're laughing, Juan, but it's a personal, true story. I uh, I never used Happy I used to use Stress and all those different tools to build. Hold on, I think I dropped the presentation for some reason. It's Alex.
Hello?
Okay, there you go. No, for some reason the screen changed to be Alex.
Oh,
So it's true story. So I never used it before, but once I started using it for the first time, I fell in love, and I was really happy when I started using it because it's so easy, simple to use, and that's why it made me happy. So I want to share the same knowledge with you guys. So hope it's gonna be happy for you too. So first, so who am I, right? Uh, okay, I think that's the wrong picture, but yes, I love Havana Club rum. So that's awesome. You should try it, guys. But really, who am I? I'm Emilio Ramirez, lead developer at TechOpen.com, where I'm in charge of the API mainly. That's my primary task there. I also run my own consulting software company with one there in the chat too. So that's mainly what I do. I love JavaScript, PHP, with Python, this kind of language. I like to solve problems. You work with APIs, any new technology like Docker that I'm trying to implement and no one let me. Yeah, and besides the technical interest, of course, doing soccer, football, basketball, any kind of sport, eat and code. So other thing about this, we run as well with one called Gym Meetup, which is this one that you guys are in right now. I also belong to the Software PHP group and the book AES. So that's me, but that's enough about me. Let's talk about the most important thing here, which is happy. And how we're going to tackle this is to start with how the HapiJS community team they define this tool, and I just copy and paste from the website, and they said it's a rich framework for building applications and services. Happy enables developers to focus on writing reusable applications logic instead of spending time building infrastructure. And this is not my personal opinion. This is what they have on the site, but I support 100% this statement because it really does. I don't have to waste times to trying to tie things together, and it really give me a really sweet spot and infrastructure to start building anything that I want. So now, of course, you need more information about Happy, and it's just a statement taken from their side. So Happy is simple to use, and is centered framework configuration. Everything in Happy, and you will see it around the road, is configuration. Actually, how you start the server is with a basic object configuration that you pass through a function, and it's really simple to use in that way. So it also has a built-in support for input validation, cache authentication, and a lot of stuff. But at the same way, I want to just point this out that it has a lot of support built in for this stuff, but at the same time, it's really light. It doesn't include stuff like can overkill your system and you may not use at all. So everything is authentication based. If you don't need caching at all, you don't need to include it. It's gonna be available at some point if you want it, but you don't have to turn it on or off. It's really simple in that way. So you can start your system pretty easy. Uh, of course, this is really important. Like what else I can do, or I can use from Happy and Happy community. Of course, you have packages, a ton of them. You have modules, and yes, it's totally supported. They have a really good community behind that. You can find it in github.com/HapiJS. Uh, the, they have some packages like Catbox, which is a whole cache system that you can plug in. You can plug in, and they have extension for Redis, and cache, whatever caching system you think of. Of course, the major one, and it could be like millions of them out there, but they cover the major ones. And if you want to use a different one, it's pretty easy to write an extension and plugin for it. They have lab with the whole suite test for, so you can test your applications, which is pretty easy to use. It's like kind of Mocha for those that know Mocha. They have also one called Code, which is really an extension of HapiJS, which is really cool and really easy to use. You have Hoek, which is an utilities that you can use for objects, arrays, merging, clone, all kind of funny or pretty stuff that you can do with it. And then you have Joy, which is I like this tool really much because you can validate schemas without be tied into a database at all. So it doesn't matter what kind of database you're using, you can validate a schema with it. And it's pretty useful when you're doing APIs. You can just tie it to your route, and it gives you a nice responses depending if you accomplish your schema or not. So, but we may going to see a little bit of this later on. Okay, so next, how are we going to start using Hapi? Of course, like what is the main thing that you have to do so you can use HapiJS? And I'm not gonna assume that you have a little knowledge about npm or Node, so you understand that this is simple installation of a package on your folder. I mean, you just create a folder and you do npm install Hapi. Of course, I always do saves. I don't forget it, so my dependency is always there. And right after you do this, you're going to see something like this, which means that you already have Hapi in your folder. So, like you see, you have your modules, and then you have Hapi. This is the main package that Hapi uses to run itself, which I'm not going to say 100%, but I think almost all of them belong to the same community, Hapi, which all built by themselves. Then if you do cat your packages, and you should see that you have Hapi in the dependencies. So if you need more information about npm, you have a link here that you can follow, and they have a really good documentation about npm. It's really easy. It's just a package manager for Node.js. And I mean, I'm assuming that, of course, everyone here that is listening have a basic knowledge about npm. So what else? So of course, how we can start using Hapi, like, okay, how I can now do a server or service or an API with this tool that I just installed, right? So, and the answer is pretty easy. And this is the part that one is gonna laugh, because it's basically Node.js, it's JavaScript, and it's pretty easy to use. And let's go into start doing some sample right now. Okay, so let's do a step-by-step what we're gonna do with this tool. First, we have to include HapiJS in our package. That's primary. So of course, we're gonna get a variable. I mean, by my standard coding style, I use always capital for important package like Hapi, so I can differentiate between what is a private variable or something that is in the scope that I don't need to emphasize with, and then I use capital for these ones. So we're going to require Hapi, and then we're going to instantiate a new server. That easy. We're just going to declare another variable server, and then we're just going to instantiate Hapi, that server, which is your server that you're going to use and run. Next, let's initialize your connections. And this is a new concept. I think there was between Hapi 6 and I think between 7 and 8. I don't remember exactly what versions they introduced this concept of connection instead of servers. Before, you just do a server, pass some attributes like port or host, and then you have your server. But now they introduce something called connections. So, and this is pretty useful, and I'm going to show you later on what else we can do with this. But for now, let's assume that we're just going to instantiate a new connection, and we're going to pass two parameters, port and host. You actually don't need to pass the host. They're assuming this is always localhost, but I always like to specify what environment I am. So you just pass the port and your host, and you already have a connection instantiated. Port. Let's start a server and connections, and of course we're going to do some checking so we don't miss anything, and if we have an error we know. So we do server.start function, and then we handle if we have an error or not, and of course always throw in a session if something going wrong with a mainful message, so you know what you calling for and trying to fix it. And we're just going to console log whatever is happy running right now. So, and of course, we have to test for it. I mean, how we know that this is actually running or not. And we just run node server.js, and if you see this, it's actually running. So you're good to go. I'm going to do a nice stop here and change to my IDE and show you guys exactly what I have. I don't know if you can see my font right now, and if you or anyone can just tell me if you can see right there or it's too small.
Can you move a little bit to the terminal to the right and increase the font size?
Okay, hold on. Let me just run the terminal to the right. That's good.
Perfect. That's
okay.
Much better. Thank you.
All right. So here's the file that I just show you in the slides, which is my server.js, and then I just have the function that I just mentioned before. I just first load happy. I'm going to declare a variable. Next, once again, we just instantiate a server. We pass our connection, and then we're going to start a server, right? So how we know that this is running? So we just have to run node server.js, and if everything goes well, it's right there. So now means that we have a server running in 127.1.00.1.1337. So this is exactly the code that I was explaining before in the slides. I just wanted to show you in the real IDE, and that's it. I'm done. That's all you need to run a server. That easy. Yeah, it doesn't need anything else. And I know, guys, that you may feel that I'm tricking you, or wow, so you just did like 4 or 5 line of code that everything else. I mean, the whole server is running. That's really it. It's not there's not a trick, or it's not something that I'm trying to hide you guys, or it's just that really Happy is really easy. It's nothing else. So if we open the browser in that address that we just saw before, you will see this: the status 404, error not found, and of course this is the first time that 404 is good, because it means that we actually have our server running, and we have a page, so we can start working on our application, if it's an API, website, whatever you guys have, right? So, but okay, now what about routing? Of course, nothing. You can start a website if you don't have at least one route, at least a root route. Why are you going, right? So when you request, you don't have that 404 that sometimes we don't like. In this case, we like it. No, most of the times. So, okay, talking about routings, the set of one route, which is the main route. Okay, the only thing that we had to do to set up the route is just call server.route and pass an object. That object needs to have required method, which is how you want to handle that route. Either get, post, put, patch, delete, whatever you're going to handle in that specific route. Of course, the path, which is your your URL. Okay, where you're going to request this route. In this case, we're going to do slash, which is the root. So we know that we just handle the first page that we load on the site. And then you just pass a function in the handler, which is, okay, what I'm going to do once I get to this route, right? So pretty easy. We just declare a function. You pass the request object and the reply object. I'm not going too deep on these two objects right now because I'm thinking to extend this series a little bit more and try to go deeper in this object. But for now, these two objects are requests. It have everything that you pass from your browser to the system, and the reply is how you're going to respond to this function, or sorry, to this request, right? So of course we're going to reply because we just can't leave the whole system hand. So we're going to reply a message in a JSON type saying welcome to our VR API. And then we start the server, and if everything goes well, you should be able to crawl your site and receive this this message, right? So once again, let's do a pause here, and let's move to the IDE and try it again. So in this case, because I know that live coding always have some special behaviors, issues, so I'm going to move to my repo that I already have set up for this. And if we go here, now we see, and once again, let me just close this a little bit more so you can see. This is the only piece of code I add to my server. So everything else is still the same, remain the same. I haven't changed anything. I just add this piece of code here that only does is to pass the object that I mentioned before to the server, right? So if everything goes well here and I didn't make any mistake, I should be able to see my site once I curl the site. Okay, so let's do curl HTTP 27 on slash 0137. Oh, there you go. Oh, of course, there you go. If I don't start the server, it shouldn't work. There you go. Now let's open the new one here so we don't miss that one. And let's try it again. And there you go. So we see the message. Welcome to our VR API shares. Wow, we achieved another step here. So what I want to show with this part here of the route is how easy you can just create a route. And if you remember what I mentioned before, that Hapi is configuration based, it is. You see just an object. So this object can be loaded in manifest that I may going to talk about in next lessons about what is a manifest or how you can start your server using manifests and other tools that they have there that use this kind of configuration based. And it's just a simple object. Could be a JSON even if you want to start your connections, and it's really simple to use. So next, let's just change to the slides. Second, here you go. So what we're going next, right? I know it's amazing. I know that was my face when I started using Hapi. Like, okay, this is impossible, really, because I know exactly how I feel right now. I feel that way when I start using Hapi. So once again, so simple. I don't even know how to explain and say this so many times because it really is. So let's move on to the next part, which is some code sample, and this is where we're going to have some fun right now. Of course, every single code is posted in this GitHub, and you can access it anytime and play with it. And I set any pull request to do this Hapi Beers API. So let's move to the IDE and do some. Let's mess around a little bit with this code real quick. So Okay, before I move forward, any questions so far that anyone has any question or about they want to share? Okay, so I'm moving to master. Okay, no, before I move into master, I have those. Okay. Oh, lesson model.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you do the connection, does it mean that I can listen on the same server object to different ports?
Yes. And actually, that's I can do a quick example right now, so you see what to do. Okay, hold on. There's a quick feedback here. Oh no, yeah, that's it. So for example, this is a maybe this answers your question. If I do server that connection, and then I do this, right? I pass a different port. Okay, and let's assume that it's gonna be in the same host, right? So of course, right now I'm just getting the main server, so you know you won't see that the message right there. But I just run it. Okay, you see that this says 337, right? But actually we're running, and let me find this one and this one. So we actually have two servers available at this moment. Of course, this is just a message. You should be able to instead of do this, you have to select select the connection that you specifically want to show or use, and then you do it whatever you want. But once you instantiate a connection, you have available with different ports the same server completely. But the cool thing about this is if you do something like, let's do bar A, and then you do bar B, okay? So you can actually have this route available only on A, and you can have a totally different route available on B. So let's try this out. If I don't mistaken, okay, I know that I shouldn't be doing live coding, but I enjoy it to fail sometimes. So this is our route A. You should be able to see the message. So if I did everything good, it shouldn't be able to see in this one. And there you go. Status code 44 not found, which means that this route is only serving on route in the server A, not on B. It does answer your question?
Yes, it does. But if you don't specify a connection to a specific route to a specific connection, it goes to both. Each route will route to both connections. Is there a way in the route itself to specify or to get the connection, what connection you're coming, or something like that?
I don't follow your question really well, but I think that
If you have a default route which routes the two connections, inside of the route, when I get the request inside of the route, is there a way to filter and specify what connection is it used, or I don't know, something
yes.
like that?
Okay, now okay, I understand your question now. Yes. So yes, you can. If you have, for example, server here, and then you have your route, you can do this. For example, let's take this a little bit. You can do request that server. So now you have your whole server object here, right? So then you can just, I think it's select, and then you can do A. Let's see. Okay, before we do that, let me just show you the whole thing, so you have the whole information. Okay, so if I run now my server again, okay, this Happy running, and I curl the side, okay, something went wrong. Okay, what I did wrong. You see, this is what you should. Oh, there you go. This is what you shouldn't be doing, Angel live coding. This should do the trick. If you can type, still not. Let's go 500. Something's wrong here. Okay, got the server connection. 123A. Okay, go back.
I don't think you can just reply with
Oh
the
yes,
with the whole.
yes, you're totally right. Yep. Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't reply. I just
Yeah, you
console
can
log.
just console it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, because it's expecting a response, and that's not even a thing. Server. Okay, and if we run again, it didn't console. Oh yeah, it does here. So here's your server object, which is exactly the same thing that you see here. It's the whole server. So you can okay, let me see if I can scroll. No, it's too much information. So I think you should be able to. There's something called, okay. So you see here the info. So here's the one that is handled right now, I'm assuming. Let's scroll with a different one. See if I'm not lying. Okay, where's the info? No, I lied. I think you have to do you should do server select to get the server. Something like server select. So you can have the server that is that you want to do something in that case. I'm not pretty sure about this one right now, so on top of my head, but that's what you would do if you want to get the server inside the function of the handler, because request contains the server in this function. It's everything is passed through the request object. Did that answer your question, Alex?
Yes, it totally does. Thank you.
Okay. So I mean, let me just roll back a little bit because I don't want to miss all this code right now. So this is in terms of multiple connections, which is a pretty cool thing I think about Hapi, that you can have out of the box. Sometimes useful depends on your app. Yes.
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
you know me, I'm I always try to optimize code and try to like make it beautiful and good looking.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a way that I could go like server connection and instead of like creating a bunch of different server connection statements, is there a way that I could use like maybe an array or like a big object with all the connection information for that?
Okay, so internals. I'm pretty sure you should be able to do it. I don't think that that's going to be completely on the scope of the talk right now, but you can do this. Let me show you real quick. Google API server connections. Okay, so you do. Hold on, 1 second. Server connections. Okay. I think connections actually returns an array. So I haven't done that with an array. I always try to get my servers like this because I don't know, I need to have a reference of it. But with connections actually server that connections, this one, return an array. So I think yes, you should be able to do it, but he used this object to instantiate the connection. So even if you return an array with this, I don't think you should be able to pass an array, or at least I haven't done that yet. So I may have to investigate that and try to get back to you after, because I haven't used as an array uh, the connections yet.
Okay. No worries.
But I can get back to you with this. Any other question? Oh, okay. So, okay, let's mess around a little bit with the code. Like, I want to show you. I'm in the models. Okay, what I have here that I commit. Okay, I'm clean. Okay, good. So, I just created a SRC folder where I'm going to try to work a little bit with my models. For example, I created a beer schema here. So I'm just going to show you how it works the one of the component, which is Joy. And here's the thing that I like. I don't even have, I mean, I'm using Mongoose here, yes, to test internally, but I don't have a connector to the database right now, but I use Joy to do like validation schema, like here. I want to run a join number precision positive and validate this value, and it does for me. So I think I have an example right now that I can use. Okay, I think this is not the, oh, there you go, that's why. Okay, I haven't finished this one. But here's the thing, you can use Joy like this. And just do something real quick here by Joy. So Joy requires. Sorry. So this is a package, and then I can do something like I want to validate one brewery. Okay, if I can type. So in this case, I would do object, and you guys can refer to the website later on. So I can just declare like, oh, okay, let's see that I have the name, but I want that name to be on a string, and I want it to be required. And that's simple. In this case, I just can run, and I'm going to do the sample right now. Name, and let's see that we have city, right? And the city needs to be Joy. I'm going to do this very quick so you guys can see how fast it could be valid. I'm going to say that only array, and so this gives me the ability to do validations like I want to do Joy now validate, and then I have to pass the schema first, which is very, and then I pass the object that I'm going to pass. Let's see that I have a dummy object here right now, and I'm going to give it a name, empty. Actually, I'm not going to pass a name, and I'm going to pass a city called right. I'm going to pass the object that I want to validate, the schema that I want to try, and then I'm just going to have a callback in case error or value. Right. So I'm just going to do a console log of the error. Well, I know this is a little nasty, but just to give it a try. So if I do Node.js, SRC models, and then I have my brewery. There you go. So that easy. I just have a validation system right out of the box, and it's pretty easy to use. You can use it against any. I mean, if you have a database, of course, you do a validation against your database. But what if you want to do a validation before even getting to the database, right? So you use something like Joy. So you know that now you have a whole nice object returning what kind of validation error occurred, where, and why I failed. So you have a nice error system that you can make an API with it, and without having to do that much, right? So you just return this nice JSON. So, but why Joy is I'm bringing Joy into the mix and not any other um, package right now is because Joy, you can use it actually here in the routes. So when you are doing a route and you have to a lot of most of the time you have to validate your route and see what you're getting, right? So you have something in the routes called config that you is an object that receive validate, right? And then here in this object you can do three things like headers, for example, and then you can do query, and you have also payload available. I think it's no, that's it. That's all you got. Oh, I think you have also params. I'm not sure about this one. I have to double check. But why I'm putting this here is because right out of the box, the route object instantiation with the object, you can do validations that before even getting to this function, it's going to validate against. Like for example, what if we want in this main route, we want to validate that we have, we need to pass a cube query, right? So let's say that we have Joy in the mix. And why Joy? Because actually in the documentation they say that you can do a function, you can do a bunch of stuff, but they also recommend that you can use Joy for it. So let's see that we have an object, and then you say that you have a Q parameter that has to be a string and is required. This means that if I don't pass that correct string, it should give me an error. I'm going to remove this for now, just for purpose to not fail. So I'm going to remove this one and run it again. Okay, I got an error. Joy, of course, Joy is not defined. So I forgot this one. So let's do Joy and then require Joy. It should be good to go now. If I do this, it's running. Now if I crawl this server, HTTP, and then I do 127.0.0.0.1 1.3.2.7. There you go. We get a validation error, which is bad request, and is requiring the Q parameter, the Q query string, with some value, with some string value. So I don't even get into the function, which is nice because sometimes you want to run some validations and not hit your database without reason. And of course, you always have to take care of your database, try to not break it. So you can have that validation out of the box, and it's pretty simple. It's just objects. So I think that's really cool, and that's why I bring Joy into the mix in the first lesson, because it's pretty useful when you're building, for example, API that you have to validate a lot of queries, parameters, payload. So all those stuff that sometimes we need to do validation, and we end up doing functions and callbacks and then functions again. So that's pretty good. Any questions so far about this one? You good? Okay, so okay, I think that's it in this part. I don't know exactly if I don't have anything else here in this part. So let's go back to this slide. And so, okay, I think at this point we have a question, right? Which is Happy versus Express. And when I mean Express, maybe it could be any other system that any other framework in Node.js. And uh, actually, there is not any difference of who is better than who. How I see it is like if I thinking that okay, I had to build an API or something that I need to get right out of the box, no complications or anything like that, I always think about Happy because it's really easy to start off, and of course you can do even more cool stuff. You can do a whole website if you want to, but that's my personal opinion of why I would use one or the other one. If I had to go and do a website maybe or something more like front ends like Express is really good for it. I think they already have a ton of modules that allow you to use like templating engines like Handlebars or Swig, any other out there. And I think they have a really nice repository of that kind of package, uh, better suite for front end, and that's what I would choose to Express. Once again, this is my personal opinion. This is not uh, something that you should take as a law or something. This is just how I think between both of them. That's why I don't see that which one is better than the other one. So I don't know if that make sense for you guys, but I mean that's how I handle when I choose Happy or any other one. In this case, Express, which is more is popular and everyone almost uses it. So that's my I think that's my presentation for now. I don't know if you guys have more questions. I will be happy to answer. Um, of course, that's my story. It's a true story. How I end up using Happy in my daily work, and I'm really happy to use it. By the way, so I know that's. I think it changed my life, and hopefully it changed your life too. And of course, I want to make more serious about HapiJS and try to go more deeper into all the packages and how you can make like a real life applications with it, like APIs strong and trying to reuse objects, stuff like that. So that would be cool to do. If you guys want it, just please comment in the hangout, and I will try to make more serious about this one, so you can go and learn deeper things about HapiJS. And I mean that's it for now. I don't know if you guys have more questions. I'm happy to answer or any feedback so far. Okay. I don't know if one of the viewers want to have any question. I don't see any questions so far in the app. Thank Charleston. Is Dublin watching? All right. So I mean, if it's not any more questions, we say let's
I'm
call
not
it.
sure.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if the. Hold on. I'm not sure. Can you? Oh, so Claudio Lonescu asked, can you have external file with GeoI validations to use?
Oh yes, definitely. And actually, I have an example right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but here in this example that I have, or sorry, see, all my models is inside this folder. So I just instead of doing this that I in the route directly, like joy string require, I just can require. And once again, guys, this is just Node.js and JavaScript. You can require your brewery uh, model here. Okay, if I can type, whatever. Okay. You can just require, and as long as you exporting an object, in this case, well, in this case, it has to be an object. You can just use it, and that's pretty much it. You don't need to do anything else. Okay, it's models, which is this is the sample. Okay, so doing this, you already have available in this in your file the your model, so you can just use it. Like for example, this is not a thing, but just to show you, you can just say, okay, let's see that you have in your model a validation called query validation, right? So as long as you have this available in your object, it will work, no problem at all. You can even do the whole object. You can say config, and then you can do you can have an object called validate into your in the external file, and if it's an object that contains query params or headers or any other options that validate accepts, you can export the whole object, no problem. So yes, you can use external files. Good question. Thanks. Any other question?
All right, let's see. Let me see if I get any other. So, no, I don't see any more questions.
No, I don't see. Yeah.
Yep, nope.
Okay. So,
All good.
all right. If you have any more questions, no one in the panel.
Oh, hold on. I think Thomas was trying to ask. Hey, Thomas, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you go.
Just a quick question. You know, a lot of other frameworks use have options to respawn like Happy in case the server crashed on you. So if you're running it and something causes it to crash, you'll automatically register it and respawn the process. So you're not left with a server that went down accidentally in case you're running on an API. Is there something that you're using in these cases?
Okay. So you mean something that like okay. Let me see if I can understand your question. So you mean how you can handle your errors, internal errors on your API, or what? If you want to know your errors. If you want to know your errors, then yes, there is a package called good, which you can just require, and it will log every single thing that you want to in your server. Now, that only logs anything that happened in your API, but if you want to handle your errors, that would be basically like doing, if you're doing something, let's assume that you're doing, you have your request type hello, which is whatever you send in, right? So if you're not sure that, for example, you want to return a JSON, that will be using JavaScript, like you do you try catch, then you would do your payload and then you say JSON that parse, right? So in this case, you use just JavaScript. I don't know if that actually is answer your question, or you want me to go more in deep on that part.
That's a good answer. It's not really before the question I asked, but thank you for the information. What I was asking is sometimes when you run a Node.js framework like Happy, uh, the spawn process can crash for whatever reason, and sometimes you run a daemon on the background to respawn it, so you don't have interruption of service. A lot of frameworks like Express and Meteor have them. And have a full library of them that you can use because, especially during the development, you're constantly testing. You do get error collection, and that's separate. But you want the server to be respawn so you can have continuous service for a certain amount of time to make sure you can keep running.
Oh, I don't. Okay, I know what you're saying. Well, I actually haven't used it on Happy. I'm not sure if they have a specific package for that. I'm not, at least not on top of my head. But even if I had a package on Happy that does that, I wouldn't. I mean, I personally wouldn't trust too much on that. I would try to rely something more on System D or something like that, since if you want to keep that process always up, or you don't want to like have downtime, something like that, I would use something more like System D, which is an external tool that will be watching that process. I don't know if you are familiar with System D, but I would use that one instead. So just to keep like separate what is going to be helping what in this case, because yes, there's a lot of packages that help you to do that, and they well done, and I don't have any um, concern with this. It's just, I mean, personally, I rather have someone higher level watching that service, and in this case, System D or supervisor would be good options on my case. That's why I don't have an answer for you in terms of Happy exactly if there's a package that does that. But
No,
yeah, I mean, that's a good one.
there are there are different modules that you could use on Node to just keep on running indefinitely your node processor or your scripts, right? So one of the good things that actually Angel mentioned about is that Boom actually returns the like a better error objects, so you could like convey a better message to whoever is using your API or your server or service. There's also a this guy's with the names. There's also a really good module from actually the same community from HapiJS that is called Poop, and that is P-O-O-P. Yes, just like you thought. And that is actually and I'm gonna read off their like the repo description, and that's actually a plugin for taking a process dump and cleaning after an uncut exception. So that actually maybe help you in because after every time that you're going to be dealing with unhandled errors and your application just shuts down, you want to make sure that you have you have a fully understanding of what happened. So you could like do a postmortem and find out what went wrong. So this plugin actually lets you compile information about what happened, what was going on the server, and to directly answer the question, you can use a various amount of modules or like process managers that actually do this for you. You have PM2 that
Yes.
actually gives you a really nice GUI interface, like web interface to actually manage your processes. You have Forever, which is the command line that I always just like de facto use to run processes that are like not life threatening, that are gonna like get me out of my job. And I just use Forever to run indefinitely. You could also do nodemon on a daemon or a daemon. How would you say status, or like on the daemon version that is actually going to run your process on the background and will not like keep retain power or from your terminal. Like when you type node and then the name of your script, you're running that file or a script, and you can't do anything on your terminal. So if you like close the terminal, your process is going to end too. So if you want to not have your process end and want to keep your process running forever, you can use like those. There's actually Damn, Angel, I don't know if you agree. I think we could do some another talk about loopback and like the different components that they have, because they have a really nice process manager that I think they like really nailed it with with a bunch of the concepts that it has. So I think it's a good thing to have in mind also.
Oh yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, we can do. Uh, I mean, but loopback is a whole beast. We have to like
Yeah.
try to do some
Yeah.
tasks at the same time with that because it's really a big thing. But
Yeah.
just I mean, thanks one for clarifying that. I mean, that's pretty helpful. Thank you so much. Just to recap of what I just mentioned is if you want to just log and see exactly what's everything happening in your API or application, this is the plugin that I was mentioning before, and all it does is just log every single thing that happened in your application. It's pretty useful. I used it all the time, so it's really good. And this is the one that Juan mentioned before. She's in the same community of Happy, and that's what it does. It's just keep your person dump and cleaning after to carry exception. Sorry. Um. Uh. Well, I'm pretty sure that that answered your question.
Yes, it absolutely did. Thank you.
Okay. No,
Alrighty.
thank you for asking. No, actually, that's a really good question. Um. I don't know if there's another question that we want to tackle. One, there's no one there asking.
Let me see. Questions. No, we only had Claudio, and that was about it. So it was Claudio and Thomas.
Okay.
Yep.
So, well, I mean, it's
Oh, wait a second.
yeah.
Charleston mentioned keep alive to keep running the processes. I never used that one. Hmm.
Yeah, that's I mean, this the same concept for the load balancers. Keep alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good.
Is that like a package?
Not for Node.js. At least
Oh,
I'm not aware of it.
oh,
That's
there you go.
for load
Yeah, no.
balancers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like when we have this type of question, like okay, how availability on your application. So you have that many any answers that all of them are right because you
Yeah.
can do at your application level, you can do it at your system level, like system D, and you can even go higher to your load balancer level because you have if you have a really busy API, you're gonna be balancing at some point and keep alive is what you implement with HA proxy. So you keep the system uh, up and running all the time. So you actually have to implement
Yeah.
all three. You
Or
actually
you
will
could even go you could even go crazy and watch um, Alex's talk on workers with on
yes,
Node.js, and then create your own process managers with clustering,
yes.
your applications with different workers. So
Actually,
imagine,
I really
I mean,
recommend that one. If you go to a Google community, Coding Google community, I mean, you can go to the workers talk that Alex did sometimes like 2 months ago, and actually you can implement your own work and exactly how you want to manage your system, and that's also another way to do it. That one is pretty cool.
yep.
It's getting interesting in the conversation.
All right, so I think we need to like stop it right here and leave more topics for next episodes.
Actually, I mean, I'm for the next one. I think we have React.js.
Oh yes.
Yes, we have React.js. It's going to be talking Italo about React, and after that, I think we have. Sorry, what is?
Jorge, that apparently Jorge is asking when is that going to be? So next month.
Yeah, next month. Right now, we're just doing once a month because we're kind of busy on in projects and stuff like that. But I think we already have material to do twice a month because we have React, we
Yeah.
have Elasticsearch. Someone want to do talk about Elasticsearch and searching. There's some Laravel talks. We have more happy. We have
Loopback.
loopback. We have
I was
Docker.
also I was also I was also planning about WebSockets and WebRTC.
That we're talking about to see. So hopefully in 2 months, yes, Scope Gene.
Yep.
In 2 months, we're gonna be trying to implement twice a month, so we can cover all these topics because it really it really made me sad to wait the whole month to use. Okay, they're going to talk about React. I want to know what they're talking about Elastic. I want to know that too. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's yes, it really sucks. But I mean,
All
for now, we
right.
have to give it a now. We do all the times when we hang out. No matter what, if we're going to local or not. Right now, we're just trying to gather the venue so we can do local. But even if we are local in the venue, we always do hang out live for those that
Yep.
can get to the place because we are located on their right. So most of the people is either from Miami,
And that's in South Florida.
and sometimes they are not even in Florida. So we always do online hangout so you can guys watch and ask questions like if you were local. So
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you, Angel, for your awesome talk, bro.
no, thank you guys. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for joining and
Oh,
sorry.
Thank you. Nice talk.
Thanks, Alice. Okay, was I thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And any feedback, please just let me know. My email, my Twitter, there's linking whatever you guys want to catch me. Whatever you see Quemby, that's us. So no problem. You just go and drop us a line. And I hope you see you on the next one, which is React.
yeah.
And
Also, if
yes,
you guys have, like interesting topics, or
yes,
you feel like a subject matter expert, that, and you want to share your knowledge, because this is what we're doing. We don't make money on this. We're just sharing our knowledge, and bringing things that we find interesting in our jobs, or like we came across that it was like really nice. And if you feel like you want to share that with everybody, so step up to the plate, drop us a line, Angel or myself, and we'll be hanging around.
yes, definitely, please, guys. I would love to learn more for you guys. So any
Yeah.
topic, just let us know.
All
All right.
right.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Have a good night, and hope to see you in the next lesson.
All right.
All right.
See
Bye bye.
you.